Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims 4 info/thoughts video. So we got a live stream focusing on Myshuno, and it's turned out to be way better than I expected, and it actually ran for longer than it was supposed to. It ran for roughly an hour, so it was a lot longer than the one from last week, and I think that's a good thing. I feel we definitely needed a longer live stream. And now, as a result of that, I feel a lot more optimistic about this expansion pack as a whole than I did in the past. Alright, so let's dive right into all the stuff that we learned from this live stream. First off, we have Simguru Jill and Simguru Romeo showing off the arts district. It's pretty cool looking. We haven't seen too much of this before today, but yeah, it is really cool looking. It's just like so artistic and stuff. And Simguru Jill talked about a new venue type called the Arts Center. Basically, it sounds like a slightly better version of the museum where you not only just go there to view art, you can make your own, as there's various art-related objects where you can craft your own stuff, like the woodworking bench and things like that. So, I'm not sure how I feel about that. It sounds very, I don't know, to me. It feels like I could just put the objects onto any other lot and I'd get the same thing, so maybe there's more about those we don't know yet? I don't know, because with the limited amount of ground level lots we have in Myshuno, I'm already thinking about which ones I want to replace with restaurants. Because this time, there are no empty lots at all. I know there is one of the karaoke bars I want to replace for sure, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Then we get an explanation about graffiti as a pigeon flies in. We'll talk more about those birds later on in this video. So it turns out that the space for the murals, you do have to place them down in build mode. There's the ground version and there's the wall version. You can place them on any lot. And although the objects are initially very small when you place them, just so they can be more easily fit into tight spaces, you can use the enlarge size cheat to make the art look a lot bigger, and the art will still look good when you do that. Also, there's a chance that your Sims could accidentally spray themselves in the face instead of spraying the ground or the wall. As you can see here, Bako does spray himself in the face, and it's pretty funny. We then get to see what Bako's wife, Anaya, is doing, and she's using the new street gallery object, where if you have paintings that your Sims have made, you can put them on this object, and then you can place it into your inventory, and then place it out anywhere on the street, not just in Myshuno, but any world, and you can sell your artwork. So that's pretty nifty. I did not expect that in the expansion pack, but it's definitely an interesting way to make money on the side. The Simgurus then pan over a little bit to see that Dominic Fires from Windenburg is selling frogs on the arts and crafts table. The table does carry a similar function to the street gallery, except you can sell anything from your inventory on this table. The next thing that they show off is the human statue Busker, which we did see in that cute little video clip from earlier this week. And it turns out you can interact with it. As you can see here, you can flash crazy eyes, try to scare the living statue, tease the living statue, tip the living statue, or just wave at it. And if you do decide to throw your money at the human statue, then they will reward you with their outfit. So, in a move that I did not expect, we actually can do the human statue thing ourselves. I was expecting this to only be a special NPC and nothing our playable Sims could do, but we can, so that's a really nice bonus, and another potential way to make some quick simoleons. We then get to see the world map once again, and there's a couple of new interesting things we get to see this time. Each of the colorful icons over the districts actually do have descriptions when you hover over them. It's definitely a neat little detail. I hope we see that in future worlds. I don't know if it'll be a Myshuno only thing. I don't think it would be applied to the previous worlds. I highly doubt that. But I kind of like that. It's just kind of a nice thing that, in my opinion, gives a little bit more life to the map view. The Sim Gurus then talk about something really cool that they've added, especially for the apartment buildings, because since the apartments are enclosed in buildings, you can't just see the whole thing from map view like you can with normal lots. So they've added this mechanic where you can see the thumbnails of the interiors of the apartments when you click on them. As you can see here, you can even go up floors if there's apartments with multiple floors that you're currently looking at. We then get to see Myshuno Meadows, which, judging from the map icon, just a normal tree, I thought it was simply nothing more than another park. But it is actually a special lot, kind of like the Bluffs in Windenburg. It's made to be a wedding venue. Behind the wedding arch, they even have some special functionality where the fireworks go off just as the bride and the groom kiss. That's really cute and romantic. And it is on a 64 by 64 lot. Yay! We really need more of those, so I'm glad we're getting at least one with this expansion pack. Also, it is hard to see here, but there are swans in the water in the background, so that's pretty neat. I like swans, they're pretty. Then, as they take a little tour around the park, Simguru Jill proceeds to talk about pigeons, because they have improved their pigeon technology. Because in Windenburg, the pigeons only walked around and occasionally went doink doink. Seriously, we gotta get Simguru Jill on more of these live broadcasts, please and thank you. And they fly around now instead of just doing that. So please, I am begging you, add some seagulls in the game that do the same. Just a random suggestion, it would be really fun if we could feed the birds as well. A neat little touch that they talk about next is that around the city of San Myshuno, there are 6 different memorials that your Sims can read that work kind of like the plaques at the Von Hont estate in Windenburg. And if you manage to read all 6 of them, then you'll get an achievement. Yay, they did not forget about achievements after all. This memorial right here apparently is about the time a shirt factory got hit by a meteor. Pretty crazy stuff. It definitely adds some interesting background to the setting of San Myshuno. Next, we get an overview of the fashion district and one of the pre-made families that live there. And then we get to see some creative sim items. Overall, they look fantastic. I'm really looking forward to using a lot of these in future creative sim videos. They also highlight the new aspiration, which is under a new category called location, and I couldn't help but think, that opens up the possibility for more location-based aspirations in the future. Like maybe if they add a tropical world, then they'll have one aspiration for that in that category, revolving around maybe scuba diving and things like that. I don't know, that's just a random idea, because, I don't know, I just feel it would be kind of weird if for the entire rest of the life cycle of Sims 4, they never ever added any more aspirations to that category. The next section of the live broadcast focuses on the spice market. And one thing we didn't get to see before, since we only saw it during the day, is that at night, you can see those old diamond lighting effects going down the wires of the bridge. That's really cool. They then show off the basketball court. And much to my surprise, the basketball net itself is separated from the court. The court is a separate thing, which is great. The basketball net is a 3x2 footprint, so we can fit it into the backyards or front yards if we want to. We don't always have to place it in a huge court. And it does come in both standing and wall versions. And one interesting major change that they've made to this basketball hoop is that multiple Sims can shoot at the same time. It's not like in the previous games where you just watch one Sim shoot and then while the others stand by and watch and cheer or whatever. No, they can actually go for the goal at the same time that your other Sims can. And yes, it is possible for your Sim to shatter the glass on the backboard. They also talk about an assortment of weird NPCs that can appear between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. such as the trash raccoon we see in the trailers that can pick fights with your Sims and dig through the trash. There's also apparently random old people wandering around in their pajamas, and a man in a luchador mask as well. Here we can also see the performance-based object, which is where our Sims can perform guitar or violin for tips once their skill points are high enough. Next, we get to see one of the food carts, the Mexican food cart, which has taquitos, empanadas, and various types of burritos, one which is actually labeled as vegetarian safe for Sims with the vegetarian trait. However, the food in the food cart can be pretty expensive, so what you can try to do is get your Sim to haggle the Sim who's running the food cart into lowering the price for you. Unfortunately, that failed spectacularly, because not only did Eva say no, she shut down her food cart right after. I don't know if that was just a coincidence because she was doing the pee walk right as she was leaving, or if it really was just that Eva got so mad. She was just like, well, I'm gonna take my toys and go home. It does give the Sim Gurus an opportunity to talk about the dynamic changes that can happen with the food carts in the worlds though. So it's pretty nice that it can happen on the fly. Sim Guru Romeo then confirms that the next livestream will be about festivals. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what that one will be like. The Sim Gurus then talk about some of the pre-made families, and that they've included new technology to allow pre-made Sims to be pregnant, which is what is going on with the Beta family. They also confirm a new radio station included with the expansion pack, which takes some influence from Moroccan and Japanese culture. Then we finally get to see Uptown, and wow, my jaw kinda dropped when I saw this one. It reminds me a bit of Speed Highway from Sonic Adventure, and I thought the Fashion District was vertical. This one makes the Fashion District look not that vertical at all, really, because this district is clearly much higher above San Myshuno than the rest, and yeah, the view is just breathtaking. I love it. I definitely want to have some Sims living here. Here they briefly show off the podium object, which you can put in your inventory and bring it around with you. The Sim Gurus answered a question about whether kids can sell at the crafts table, and they actually can, which is great. So that's at least one new thing that kids can do with this expansion pack. Sim Guru Romeo also talked about how you can use that table at home as well. It doesn't just have to be at community lots or in the public space, so it works anywhere and Sims will come to buy your stuff. So if you wanted to, you could totally have a yard sale at home. Another thing that Sim Guru Romeo talked about is one small aspect of the art critic career, where you actually can go around the world critiquing art as a requirement to just move forward. New club rules are also confirmed, including for basketball and karaoke, and also the video games club rule has been updated to include the new console. The painting rule has been updated too, to include murals. They then go back to the fashion district where they show off the karaoke bar in that district, which has a really cute keyboard rug, and it has this really cool origami sculpture outside that also doubles as a light. Sim Guru Romeo talks about these interesting dynamic signs, because if you live outside of San Myshuno, you can still get notifications about festivals that are about to happen, but there are these signs as well which switch out dynamically to show which festival is on next. So that's really interesting. You can just place that on any lot, so even if you're not in San Myshuno, you can get these really cool signs, so you can build up hype in the other worlds too, and have like all your Sims maybe go there and stuff. Some of the other new objects are shown off as well, including the one-tiled desk, the new food stands which you can place so they're there permanently, the murals, some planters, the biggest paintings they've ever shipped in a Sims expansion pack, and some other cool things as well, including a trophy you can unlock by winning 73 basketball games. Oh, good luck accomplishing that. That's probably gonna take a while. Good thing I play with aging off. But anyway, shortly after they wrap up the live stream. Wow, That was a lot to get through. There are still a couple of things that I want to mention before I end this video though. After the stream, Simguru Jill did confirm that kids can learn how to sing and use the karaoke machine. Simguru Rusky also talked about vegetarian food in The Sims 4 because it was a Herculean task since they had to start from base game recipes. And there is one thing I forgot to talk about in my Day of the Dead update overview, although it's not actually related to the content of that update itself, but rather in the patch notes, because as you can see here, they seem to be hinting pretty hard that something is going to happen next week. They talk about how October 1st marks the end of a quarter, and oh, what a week may change. And on top of that, Simguru Graham responded to a question about the patch notes, saying, "It sure makes it sound like there's something we want to talk about, but can't yet, huh? Those pesky quarters." So I think there is maybe some kind of announcement coming next week, and that would make sense because since October marks the beginning of the fall quarter, that means that we're probably getting the new quarterly teaser next week. And I doubt City Living is the only thing that we're getting in that quarter. If it is, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed, as good as the expansion pack looks. I'm really hoping it is a game pack that focuses on a supernatural creature. Yeah, I know Dine Out was released in June, but that doesn't mean that they couldn't have already started making game pack number 4 while Dine Out was still in progress, especially since Dine Out took almost a year after Spa Day to be released. And Halloween is right around the corner, so there's no better time to give us another occult. And that would kind of make up for City Living not having one. I mean, it is still slightly disappointing that there isn't one in City Living, but at least we could get a game pack with a supernatural creature like a vampire, and maybe even have more depth than they would have given the vampires had they been included in an expansion pack. Whatever happens, I think we can expect some pretty exciting stuff alongside City Living info next week. And that wraps up another Sims 4 info/thoughts video. If you sat all the way through this video without fast forwarding it even once, wow, you are one heck of a trooper. Congratulations. I'd give you all the medals if I could. But let me know in the comment section below what you think of all of the stuff we learned in the live stream. I think overall it was really entertaining to watch. You definitely should if you haven't already. I know it is an hour long, but yeah, it definitely takes me back to the good old Sims 3 live streams. Simguru Jill actually reminds me a little bit of Simguru Smitty. It's too bad that Smitty's not around anymore. And what are your predictions for what could unfold next week? Maybe we are getting the quarterly teaser, and if so, what do you think will be in it? But anyways, I will talk to you later, guys, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.